guys into another video I'm gonna make here. A lot of people end up breaking these lines that run from the DEF dozer. The DEF dozer is behind here. Let's see if I can bring you guys in. This is the DEF dozer. It has coolant lines that run from the DEF dozer all the way through the chassis, right beside the engine to a block. Now this line right here is known to break. It breaks where it meets the other plastic line, or it can break beside the chassis over there, right next to the, kind of by where the, right beside the EGR cooler, there's a block bolted to the chassis. It breaks there too. So if it breaks, you're gonna lose your coolant. You're gonna be stuck there on the road. It's gonna take gallons and gallons. You have to come up with some sort of a fix to get back on the road, either patch or a possible blocking it off. But if you block it off, you know, this coolant actually cools the DEF dozer. So if it gets too hot, it won't operate correctly. So, you know, it's really important to that is operating at all times for the most part. And you know, the coolant actually cools the DEF dozer, you know, which is made out of, the DEF dozer itself is made out of metal. So if any of this breaks, you know, you're gonna be in trouble if it breaks out on the road. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eliminate this system. This system is comprised of these two lines here, and then it converts to two other like hard plastic lines that run along the chassis. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eliminate this whole issue. All these 4 specialty hoses that you could get at the dealership only. I'm gonna eliminate the system. And what I'm gonna do, silicone heater hose. It's resists more temperature. This is from FlexFab 5526 038 3/8 inch. I bought 20 feet just so I can have some extra in case I ever need it out on the road. And it's 2 plies. And let me see if it says here what the temperature rating is. I don't think it says on here the temperature rating, but it's, I believe it was resistant up to about 300 and something degrees, like 350 or so. I'm not exactly sure. Hotter than this engine will ever get. So this is what you're gonna need. You can get these things at Volvo. These fittings that I wrote here, you're gonna need 2 of these. These ones are gonna go on the DEF dozer. These are the push fittings, the release fittings. These will go on the DEF dozer. 2 of these, and then these 90 degrees will go on that block that's bolted to the chassis on the right side. 2 of these 3/8 inch. Now here's a part number for the straight ones. You can get these at Volvo. 2080510 for the straight, 2080510 for the right angle. These are the right size, 3/8 3/8, you know. So you're also going to need 4 clamps, 4 number 8 clamps. This type of clamp from Breeze, this type of clamp from Breeze number 8 is has a liner inside, so this won't cut the silicone hose. If you get the regular worm clamps, it will cut this hose as you tighten it. So you're gonna need 4 of these number 8 clamps, 2 and 2. Let me write this down. Times 2 times 2. You need this. I got of the hose. I ordered 20 feet of the 3/8 coolant, or also known as heater hose. Preferably silicone, it'll last longer. And then also you're gonna need some coolants. I got the concentrate, which Shell Rotella extended life coolant. I got 6 of these. These are concentrate, so you have to mix this with water. And this one is approved for Volvo, which is this is what it's for. This is what I'm gonna use it on. Got 6 of these, and then distilled water. This is what you can mix with this. Distilled water is better because it doesn't have minerals that could contaminate your coolant system. So I'm gonna 6 of these, possibly 5, but I bought 6 just in case. If I have some extra, that's okay. If I ever need it, I'll carry it with me. And then I'm gonna buy 6 of these also. You're gonna need a funnel to pour it in, and then you're gonna need if you already have coolant in here and you're gonna do a flush, or like I'm doing a flush and I'm changing the reservoir. So this is the drain line that connects to the bottom of the radiator on the left corner, and you can get this at Volvo. I forgot the price. I think I paid like $40 or $50 from it, but you can get this on other sites as well. I'll post up a link to one if I see one, but I bought mine at Volvo. And then I'll show you guys where this one connects, and I'll show you this. These are the hard lines. The hard lines connect right here. If this is one that I'm touching, so I got to remove these. Those are the hard lines. And then this is where I'm going to connect this hose. It connects on this fitting in here. I don't know if you could see it. That's where I'm going to connect it on the bottom. It plugs in, snaps, it locks in. You push this to lock it in, drain your coolant out. And you'll need a container of some sort. This is the container I'm going to utilize to catch my coolant. All right, and here we have the DEF dozer with the coolant lines that I just replaced, with the straight connectors and the 2 clamps, all securely fastened. Got some heater, 3/4 inch heater hose, cut it and wrapped it around and secured it with zip ties. Make sure all these lines are securely fastened. They're not going anywhere. They're properly attached, and all the right attachment connections, not rubbing, you know, away from anything, away from that starter, you know. So this is gonna last. Here's an upper view from above of the connectors right by the EGR cooler, you know. So on that block, securely fastened, the clamps are on tight, and this connector is still fully serviceable. If any of these connectors were to get damaged or wear out or break, just $6 to replace just a connector. Still fully serviceable connector. You can remove this if need to. So here's what it looks like, all secured. I also went ahead, I replaced my coolant reservoir, got a new one. It's all installed. Quick note, make sure that you make note of these 4 bolts on top. They are shorter. Do not put longer bolts on the top of that go to the radiator. You will bust the radiator if you put a longer bolt right there. They're shorter. Those 4 are shorter bolts. I also, this would be a good time to replace the O-rings on these little vent hard lines right here. There's 2 little O-rings on these little connectors. Buy those little O-rings and those outer clips that lock it all in place, and even those 2 little hard lines if need be, if they're worn out. This is a good time to replace any other coolant hose that may be old or worn out. This is a perfect time while the system is drained. Hey, what's going on, guys? Back here at the shop. Want to show you guys what the DEF injector coolant hoses look like off the truck. Here they are. Let me pull this up. Get a better look here. Okay, so here, these 2 hoses are where they connect to the DEF dozer. These are the 2 flexible lines. These are the quick connects right here. And then right here is the hard lines. These right here are connected through the chassis, run alongside. And this is where they connect to that block that's right beside the EGR cooler. It's like a block where the coolant runs through. These hoses are a very weak point, a very bad weak point on these trucks. D13, D11, D16, any of these would have a DEF dozer in the SCR system. I've seen them break in this area right here where it connects to that block. I've seen them connect in this, break in this area here as well where it transitions to here. Especially seen them break here, and have also seen them break here also. Then the hose will actually just break off and the connector will stay connected to the DEF dozer. So the way that I did this upgrade, I eliminate these 4 lines. It's these 2 and these 2, eliminate these completely. Now let me show you a breakdown of what it would cost to replace these. And that's even if you're able to get these at the dealership, if they even have them. The 2 hard lines, the part number is 21643376. They cost about $50 each at your dealership, or around that much. If they even have them, it'll be $100 for those 2. The DEF injector coolant hose, the flexible one, which is the smaller, the shorter one, 216-47725. You should be able to get those at your Volvo dealer for around $80 each. If they have them, for $160 for those 2. So total, you'll be looking at around $260 to replace these 4 lines if your truck is already older or they're worn out and, you know, just a little preventive maintenance. Now, if one of these breaks on you out on the road, it's going to be way more than this to get that fixed. A service truck will have to come out and do a roadside patch repair. You're going to lose a bunch of gallons of coolant out there, probably all your coolant. And then they'll do some sort of a temporary patch, or if they have the line with them. So keep that in consideration. Now, the way that I replace this, the FlexFab 3/8" silicone coolant hose, I used 16 feet. I used almost 8 feet for each line, complete from the block by the EGR cooler all the way to the DEF dozer. That's at a cost of $44 for 16 feet. And then the 2 quick connect, the straight connectors, the ones that go on the DEF dozer, the part number is 208-05-109. You're gonna need 2 of those on the DEF dozer, $6 each, $12 for those 2. The right angle connectors, the quick connectors that go by the EGR cooler, that part number is 2080-5110. You'll need 2 of those, $6 each, $12 also. And then the number 8 clamps, the Breeze Aero clamps, these are lined so that they don't cut your hose as you tighten it. I got these 4 of those for $10. I got those at like an independent truck parts place. So $78 for this to upgrade it to this, or, you know, $260 to replace with just the same stuff that came on the truck when they built it. You know, so when they built the truck, I'm sure it was easier for them and probably cost effective to just slap this on there for the meantime. But if you're an owner operator, you own your own truck, or you own your own fleet of trucks, these lines right here will give you issues, and will probably break on you in the worst possible time, you know. So wanted to also show you guys another tip in case you guys wanted to just carry some of these to do a quick fix. You know, if one of these lines were to break somewhere, what you can do is you can get like 2 feet of this, or even 1 foot of this coolant hose, 3/8 inch coolant hose, 1 foot. You get these 2 fittings right here. The quick connects, the straight ones, and then 2 clamps instead of the 4, just 2 clamps. And you could do a bypass right here. Undo these quick connects here by the EGR cooler on that block where the coolant goes through, and you plug in these 2 connectors and you do just a bypass right here, and that'll you're still gonna obviously lose some coolant there, you know, but to get you off the road, you know, safely, and to plug up the system temporarily to block this off, you'd be able to do a bypass like that just if you carry these couple items with you. It's not very much, probably about like $25, $26 total for these 2 fittings, a foot or 2 of this hose and 2 clamps, and you'd be able to plug this in yourself and, you know, get back on the road and then fix this as soon as possible, because without coolant running to the DEF dozer, you know, the DEF dozer will overheat, will run a lot hotter than it should, you know, and the DEF fluid doesn't want to run through a metal component that's that hot, you know, that DEF could just harden up right there if it's way too hot. And then I went a step further. I also did a flush. So if you have a Volvo with the D13, D11, D16, or those variants, I recommend you get the Volvo, the coolant drain hose. It's that hose that plugs into the bottom of the radiator on that fitting. You can get those for around $31 or so, or a little more, around that range. I'll post up a link in the description. I also went ahead and I did a flush and replaced my expansion tank. Part number for that on my truck, a 2013 with the D13, is 23915-461. I got an OEM tank. Yes, OEM tank for $260 at a dealership, at a Volvo dealership. That is correct. I know there's people out there gouging, but that's what I paid recently. I also replaced the Volvo coolant filter. Here's a part number, 2193-7313. Got that for around $20. And then I bought the concentrate of the Shell Rotella extended life coolant. This is the one that you mix with water, with distilled water. You know, it's concentrate. 6 gallons. Each gallon was $14.25 a gallon. And then obviously got to mix it with distilled water. I got 6 gallons, $1 a gallon at a neighborhood grocery store. I'm going to have a little left over here, so I'm just going to carry this with me in case I ever need it. So that's pretty much it, you know. I wanted to just show you guys the comparison and prices. You know, if you do need this repair, or you know your truck is up there in miles, you know, my truck is around, this truck is around 600,000 or so. My lines are still good, they're not broken, but they are, you know, worn out. They are worn out. They've seen better days. They're, you know, around a hot engine and a hot area, which is, they're in a really hot area here right by the SCR system. And, you know, being around heat that long can't be good for them. They also break, so I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road one day, or have a driver stuck on the side of the road with the truck leaking all its coolant out. So I believe in preventive maintenance. So I hope you like this video, and I also hope I've earned your subscription. Have a great day.